In our two-part Thanksgiving mini-series, we're going to be talking about how to set yourself up for success so that you can catch every single one of your great aunt's snide comments about your choice in shoes, haircut, and men. So guys, for part one, I'm gonna give you 3 tips for how to prepare on Thanksgiving to make sure that you're set up for success. So Thanksgiving morning can be quite hectic. You start to have out-of-town guests, you're trying to get people fed from a breakfast perspective, and of course, if you're like me, you have that Thanksgiving Day parade on television. So very quickly, the noise level and your blood pressure start to rise. So I'm gonna give you 3 tips, starting with first, turn the television down. Now, you might frustrate a few of the people watching the television, but if you'll turn the volume down and put the captions on, that's that CC button on the remote control, then what you'll be able to do is lower the TV volume. Those who are watching the TV have a little bit of extra support with the captions and the overall noise level comes down. Then people aren't having to raise their voice to talk over the television. Tip number 2, as you are preparing lunch or dinner, there are literally too many cooks in the kitchen. So if you are at the sink, let's say washing vegetables, and either trying to speak to someone or being spoken to, turn the running water off when you need to talk. The reason this is so difficult is because water running is actually a very, very loud sound, and it's right there, very close to you as you are, let's say, working in the sink. So if someone is trying to get your attention, turn the water off and look at the person who's trying to talk to you. That will also bring the noise level down and make it easier to talk. Tip number 3, this is all about how to set your Thanksgiving table in such a way that it's optimized for the best possible communication. So I have 3 sub-tips for setting the table. Tip number 1 is, as you are creating some kind of centerpiece or flower arrangement, make sure that it stays relatively low profile on the table. The reason is that you want to be able to see everyone's face and hands across the table. This will help make sure that you can get all the context clues as they're speaking to you, even if you're trying to speak to someone way down at the end of the table. Tip number 2 for setting your Thanksgiving table is use a tablecloth. Now this might seem a little bit silly, but especially if you have a glass table, if you set down a drinking glass or silverware or a plate, this can make a really loud sound when you set it down. And with everyone passing dishes down from one another, you can see how this would add up pretty quickly. If you put a tablecloth down, then this will buffer some of that sound and it won't nearly be as jarring as it would without. Tip number 3 for setting the table is make a kids table. The kids are often the loudest in the bunch, and also Thanksgiving dinner or lunch tends to be a bit longer than normal meals, so they get a little bit antsy and they might start to talk or play. If you have the kids at their own table within eye line, but a little bit out of earshot, this will make it so that the volume level at the adult table comes down and you're able to hear all of the comments from everyone at your Thanksgiving table. I hope you guys enjoyed these tips and tricks, and stay tuned for part 2 when we talk about what to do during dinner to make sure that you're able to hear everyone beautifully. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. See you in the next one. Bye.